KFAN, The Fan.
Welcome back, Power Morning Show.
The Power Hour is on KFAN.com/watch. It's presented by the Salvation Army's Down for the Challenge, a thrilling rappelling event with the Minnesota Vikings to raise money for the Salvation Army. Happens July 28th and 29th. More info online, also KFAN.com keyword calendar.
You can watch us right now. Take a look at what Rosie's wearing today. Looking good, Roser.
It's just a mesh top.
I like it.
You like Rosie's mesh top?
It's fishnet.
Oh, fishnet. Sorry.
Yeah, get it right.
Made out of real fishnet.
Oh, that's hot. No wonder it stinks in here.
I like what I like.
Yeah.
Sad news. I don't know if this is breaking news, but I just saw it for the first time. Do you remember a Steelers linebacker named Clark Haggins?
Yeah, Haggins,
I'm sorry. Yeah, apparently died at the age of 46.
I saw that.
My goodness. Won a Super Bowl with the Seahawks, played with the Steelers. Yeah, somebody that was in the league, obviously, when you were in the league, Ben. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I kind of wish there were more details
None
about
yet,
what happened.
right.
But, yeah, I remember him as a player. I don't remember a ton about him.
Okay.
But when I saw the name, like, oh, my gosh, I do remember that guy. And, yeah, it's sad. I mean, it's sad when, player or not, it's sad when you feel like you lose these people way too early. So, yeah, I don't know.
No doubt about that, right? Dozens of people were injured after being pounded with golf ball-sized hail at an outdoor concert in Colorado.
Did you see the video?
Yeah, the
I haven't
video's
seen
incredible.
It, no. It's
Yeah.
in Red Rocks, by the way.
Yeah, it looks like some out-of-world sort of video. Like, this isn't on our planet.
Yeah. Louis Tomlinson was on stage. Severe storm rolled in, unleashed hailstones. Rescue officials say 7 people were taken to the hospital with broken bones and lacerations.
From
Really?
hail?
My gosh. About 80 others treated on the scene. Video of the incident shows fans screaming and running for shelter as the hailstones rained down upon them.
And you said Red Rocks?
Red Rocks, yeah.
There ain't no shelter in Red Rocks. I
you
mean,
got
the
nowhere to
little
go.
welcome center can fit about 2 people. I don't know.
Wow.
There's no shelter anywhere near there. I don't know where they all went.
We've had a lot
Yeah, I
of
just
storms in
retweeted
Denver
it.
lately.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
been crazy.
answer. Is there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Oof.
I mean, it's not your normal, okay, I'm going to have some damage to my roof and where my top of my car. This looked like a horror movie. Yeah.
See, these are the things I think about. Think about if this was 2,000 years ago. They had weather events just like this.
Mm-hmm.
They had no idea why that was happening.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
None.
My God.
Zeus's fault.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why they had.
Or
That's why they had
or
like
Xenu.
gods for everything, right? The god of
God of
sun and
thunder.
wind and
Sun
thunder.
had to be to blame, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta find an answer for why the sky is throwing ice rocks at you.
That's exactly what this is too. These are rocks falling out of the
they're
sky
not-
at a high rate of speed. My gosh.
Yeah, it's not your normal hailstorm that we have here. Not at all.
No,
If
it
that
looks
was the
like it's
case-
snowing rocks. Yeah.
I think if that was the case and we were all in the same area 2,000 years ago, we would all blame Corey.
Yeah, there's no
yeah,
doubt.
yeah. The
Look
Lord
what you
hates
did.
Corey. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
look
I'm
what you did.
godlike.
Yeah.
No, the Lord of Thunder and
Yeah,
Ice.
you
hates
brought
you.
this upon
Yeah,
us.
because you just
please
pissed
start
off the god.
Can you
Yeah.
please start calling me the God of Thunder and Ice? That just sounds like a cool nickname.
That would be cool.
I don't even know what it means.
I don't know. But
Should we do sports?
Yeah.
sure, man.
Is there sports?
Your whole life is sports.
There's not much.
And you want to talk about
the
sports all
NBA
the time.
draft is tonight.
Oh,
man.
boy.
I care. I'm going to watch it.
By builders and remodelers.
I'm going to watch The Bear. I'm going to watch more of Black Mirror. I'm not watching 1 second of the NBA draft.
Yeah, by the way,
No,
The
not
Bear
either.
season 2, 100% on Rotten
Just
Tomatoes.
like season 1. Season
Yep.
1 was 100%. I've only known one person who did not like The Bear season
was
1.
it?
One.
Yeah.
I forget who was
Dave
it.
Schwartz.
That's right, Dave Schwartz. That's right, yeah.
Dave Schwartz didn't like it?
Didn't like it.
Yeah, well, he does a lot of mescaline.
Well, I mean, that's a legend.
I don't know if he's a legend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Did you see the Mazzy Day episode yet of Black Mirror?
I just saw the first one. I just saw
Okay,
John
all
was
right,
awful.
okay.
Your thoughts?
It was okay.
What? What the hell is wrong with you?
Okay, so
You know what the problem is? We said we liked it.
Yes.
No.
Wait, has Charch chimed in?
no, that's not it. I thought it was very good, but God, how do I say this
don't
without you
say it
guys
without
just killing
spoiling.
me?
It's okay.
No, but without you two just getting pissed at me about this. The beauty of Black Mirror, the beauty
I
of
don't know what
most
we're mad
Black
at.
Mirror episodes is they take you on this ride. You're confused and maybe on edge the whole time going, I don't know what's happening. This is creepy. Where is this going? And then they find a way to unveil something at the end, and you just go, what? And then you realize you may have been cheering for the wrong person. You may have been like, wow, I'm in the wrong universe of what just happened. I figured this one out about 20 minutes in. And that's my point. No, but my point, I knew that's what you guys were going to say. My point is that never happens in Black Mirror. Never. I never see it coming. The best one ever in my mind is that Shut Up and Dance one. The beauty of the ending of Shut Up and Dance, I'm like, what? Like, no chance that I saw that coming. I can tell you guys off the air because I don't want to root it for them. I'll tell you, I knew the exact moment. I'm like, oh, so that's the bit. And then it was still fun, and it still played out, but I figured it out about 20 minutes in.
So you're saying you saw all of that, you knew all of that was happening?
I'll give you the exact moment where I figured it out, where I'm like, I bet that's what. But here's the deal with Black Mirror. When you know there's a twist coming, that's half the fun is where is this puzzle going? What am I missing? And I know exactly when I figured it out. It was about 20 minutes in.
I am the definition of blissful ignorance because I enjoyed it. Because I didn't see it coming.
Yeah,
I don't
didn't
mind
either.
being dumb enough. That
Do you guys actively try to solve the puzzle while you're watching Black Mirror episodes?
Just ask him.
Well, I know
I'm
you're
asking
not.
you.
I'm surprised you watch it at all.
Well, my Hogsley loved it, so I wanted.
It's very good. It's still crazy original, right? That's why I love the show. I can't wait to watch. What is it? 5 more episodes? Is it 6 total?
No.
How many have you watched, Chris? 2?
Just the 2, yeah.
I think it's 6 this year. I think we talked about it last. So, but again, 40 episodes of Black Mirror. I think I'm like 1 for 39 now. Like, that's how hard it is to see where these are going almost always.
Now, were you confident at the 20-minute mark, or you're like, I think I've got this figured out?
No, I was, exactly. I was like 80%.
So you were still waiting for the end of like, okay,
right.
Yeah, I got it right.
Yep. Well, yeah, I got it 90% right? There's still a couple of moving parts. I'm like, oh, I guess that's a nice little additional twist. Still very, very cool.
I can't imagine that you could predict.
I'll tell you when, and then it'll make more sense.
Not the whole thing. There's no way you knew the whole thing. There's zero chance you knew the whole thing.
That's why I said 90%.
The concept, but there's no way you knew what was happening. There's no chance.
You're saying you figured it out enough that it was not a surprise, not a shock.
Correct. The big twist was not a surprise.
Twist, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
I was so cornfused the whole time.
Cornfused.
Did you say cornfused?
Yeah.
Highly recommended, though. It's still, Chris nailed it. It's super original, still super creative. It's still a super fun ride, even if you don't see it coming. I've never seen any episode of that show like from a mile away. That's the beauty of it. Is the dude's super good at M. Night Shyamalaning the ending, but not giving it away.
Are there episodes of that, Hawk? And I think you've watched more than maybe Corey has, or have you seen all of them?
I've seen them all, except for
Are there any of them where you're like, this isn't good?
Well, yeah,
they
miss once in a while. Of course.
Yeah.
Yep. They miss once in a while.
Oh,
but I'd say on an average per season, I don't know, 3 out of 4 on average are very good to great.
The one that we all watched together, the Shut Up and Dance one, I couldn't believe it.
Still my favorite one ever.
I couldn't believe it.
Getting busy.
What is that, season 2-ish maybe?
Isn't the first episode?
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's season 2 or 3.
I think it's 3.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's... Yeah.
NBA draft is tonight.
Yeah!
Victor Wembanyama is the freak of all freaks, right? He's like 7 foot, 3 or 4? And he can shoot like Dirk or Kevin Durant, and he can move like a point guard. He's a freak. Who knows? But that has nothing to do with us because he's going to San Antonio.
And he's one of the main reasons why I'm reading nothing but France will be maybe the favorite to win the Olympic gold next year in Paris because of Rudy Gobert himself. And I'm missing one other player. Not Tony Parker
Hockey
anymore.
knows. Hawk, who's on the French Olympic basketball team?
Dave Goldstein.
Legitimately,
it's Pepe Le Pew.
Could be a favorite. I was reading last night, but speaking of the draft, of course, Minnesota fans can't help think about what happened when David Kahn was in charge.
Why?
Somebody finally caught up with him. I think Krasinski, I did. Yeah, Krasinski brought it to our attention. And it was a deep dive into it's like his first interview he's done since he left Minnesota in disgrace, and how he has a lot to do with establishing even a more impact in the French professional basketball league. And he finally talked. I mean, he talked about his life. He hated Minnesota. Geez, how do you think we felt?
Yeah.
But everybody makes mistakes. Basically, the Ricky Rubio, Johnny Flynn, and how the other teams recognized after he took Rubio that he was going to take Flynn and not Steph Curry. But he goes, well, look at. I mean, people passed on Tom Brady till the 6th round. I went, well, okay. I mean, go down that road, I guess. But everybody knew that Steph Curry was going to be a really good player, maybe not a generational player. But anyway, he spoke.
But again, not to go completely revisionist history, the biggest concern with Steph, because it was a small school, was in his size. It was, is he going to be able to get his own shot off? There's so many good college shooters like J.J. Redick or whatever over the years that are all right, they can shoot threes like crazy in college. Can Steph Curry actually shoot in the NBA? Is he going to be? We had no idea he was going to be this good.
No one did.
It's that part's the easy part to go back and say, well, let's not say we knew he was going to change the game. It looked like he was going to be very good, but he also was crazy small. Crazy small.
Yeah.
He looked pretty weak, pretty small. Right? The chances that he was going to be this good was 1%.
Yeah, but the worst part about the whole thing is they took back-to-back point guards.
Yeah, that's the
they
thing.
screwed that thing up so bad.
The Rubio thing I didn't have a problem with.
Well, nobody did. He was supposed to be generational.
A lot of
You had
people
to take-
did.
you had to take
Let's
Rubio.
wait
Had to take
for him.
Rubio.
Yeah.
And think about this. I think the only reason they took Flynn was because they were worried that they had to wait a couple of years for Rubio.
Yeah.
If Rubio would have been year one, he comes right over, point guard year one, there's no way they take Flynn second.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But they thought, well, let's get Johnny Flynn up and running for a couple of years. He's probably still also going to be really, really good. And then David Kahn gave us all that trash that he believed they could play on the floor at the same time.
It's just his arrogance,
what
too,
world
about
can they play at the same time?
David Kahn's arrogance was just too much. I'm glad he came out and said, I hated it here. I'm going, well,
I wonder why.
My goodness.
Barrero.
Barrero.
Maybe.
Well, why did he say that he hated it here? Just
He didn't go in a deep dive about it.
It's because we all hated him. He would have
he
loved
sucks.
if we all loved him and he
just,
succeeded. He would have loved it here.
Right, of course he.
Of course, you hate it where you fail. I hate it here too.
Background.
That's the thing. Did he hate it the whole time, or just at the end when everybody realized that they're just a pylon?
Probably at the end when
Yeah.
everybody hated him.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
When everybody's saying, "Oh yeah, we hear you're a genius. This is awesome." I'm sure he was like, "This is pretty sweet. I'm a GM of an NBA franchise. I'm wheeling and dealing, making terrible picks."
This kid's going to be something else to watch, though.
He takes Steph Curry. Think about it. He takes Steph Curry. He arguably might still be here.
Yeah.
Or Steph might have been terrible
Yeah. Well, with our luck,
Minnesota.
until he left, and then he
Right.
won championship.
Right, because
Yeah,
Steph
because that
hated it
has
here.
happened quite a
Yeah,
bit
it does seem
with
like it.
players in a lot of franchises.
Every
here.
sport.
Yes.
We just hope Scoot Henderson is a big name. My God, his name is Scoot. How can he miss?
That's half the fun.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
if his name
yeah.
was Tim Henderson, no one would care.
They mentioned that a lot.
But Scoot's such a cool name. I want Scoot on my team too.
So do I.
Yeah.
I'd trade Cat for Scoot in a heartbeat.
Yeah, same. And I've never seen
I'd
Scoot
trade
play.
Cat for a bucket of fries.
Oh, God. Now I want fries.
Man, let's go to the
Way to
state
bring
fair
up
and get those
fries.
fries.
Is it my turn?
Wait, did Hawk just say, let's go to the state fair?
Yeah, he did not say that out loud.
I
Hey,
did. Yeah.
something weird happened this
Somebody's
morning,
gonna
by the
give
way.
me some fries.
So I normally have SportsCenter on the TV from like 5 to 5:30, just background noise while I'm doing some work
Right.
or whatever, right? Today, just out of morbid curiosity, I flipped over to ESPN2 because that's where they normally run the simulcast of Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Max.
They're gone.
Not this morning.
What happened?
What?
So here's what's so weird. I read the story yesterday too, right? That
they were
ESPN's
gonna be-
cutting the show, right? Because
Right.
Keyshawn had a 4-year, $18 million contract. According to the New York Post, they're all going to get canned basically, and there's going to be a new national morning show for the radio version, of course. And they're going to move on from the old 7-figure deals. These are going to be value radio guys, not just big names like Keyshawn. 4 years, $18 million.
I can't
for
believe
Keyshawn
that he
Johnson?
got that much money
Anyway,
from the
point
network.
is
Kind
so
of
I'm
company
like,
does that?
I wonder what they're running. So I wonder what they're running this morning. I flipped it on. Sauce even walked in here at one point. He's like, I thought they canned this show.
I did sound like
And
Cookie Monster.
Max Kellerman and Jay Williams were doing the show. No Keyshawn, but the
Right.
other two were just sitting there. And the 30 minutes I watched, no reference to it.
Yeah. Well, I'm
and the
sure they
whole
were
world is
probably
saying this
told
show's
not-
toast.
Yeah.
So no idea. According to the New York Post, Kellerman's in jeopardy of getting laid off completely, not just
There's a
repurposing him.
yeah.
He's just gone.
There's a big story about him too. That he's kind of a jack of all trades. I think he does a really good. I mean, to me, I got into watching Max Kellerman when he was probably their number one boxing analyst.
Right.
Did a really nice job. He knew more about obscure boxers than anyone on the planet, I think, and really
Button bar.
broke it down. The hell's that a button bar for?
Why would that be
Your
fun?
boxers.
Oh, as in boxing.
Oh, it's like boxer
Okay,
brief.
got it.
It's an
Boxers.
undies.
Oh, that okay, got it.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, Hawk's not wearing any, but
But he's seems to be the odd man out a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Crazy business, and ESPN's going through a lot right now. Yeah.
Well, but it's a little bit like a lot of these sports
Other-
leagues giving the NBA is giving their top guys 60, 70 million now a year, right? We're talking about Jason Tatum, I think almost 60 million in some contract he's going to be eligible for. It's going to implode.
It is.
And I think ESPN is just finally realizing we've overpaid everybody for years, and now we can't afford to pay them all. They got to cut the dead weight.
Well, I think it kind of goes back to, and let's see if this McAfee thing works. I mean, I'm a big fan of what he's doing and his style, and then that's the big thing was, are they going to let him keep his style, or is corporate going to step in and say like, hey, you got to slowly do it our way?
I can't swear.
But the thing is, like, you're gonna hire these big name guys that are household names in whatever respective sport, and then you find out they're not markedly better than just other seasoned radio or TV people that you don't know.
Yeah.
But for some reason that you think that they have like this great credibility because they played said sport. Look, I think Keyshawn's fine, but for everything that he says and brings, is he worth $18 million?
No. Not even close.
Well, Ben Lieber was Tony Romo, and you'd be Tony Romo. There you go.
Jeez, what a personal shot he just took at you, Ben.
I'm just saying. I'm looking from the network standpoint.
You didn't have he's not as good as Tony Romo?
Rosie's didn't have the name. Didn't have the name. That's right. You got to sign the big name. They were going to go. Tom Brady. How much did Fox offer Tom Brady?
Oh my God!
$6.
I mean, yeah, and he's not going to do it this year, is he?
Yeah, I don't think he's ever going to do it. I got a source that says he's offered
$1 zillion.
He keeps saying he's going to, but we'll see. But it's not until next year.
No.
We'll do headlines and we go commercial free the rest of the way. Power to Morning Show on the Fan.
The Fan.
The Power Hour continues at KFAN.com/watch. It's brought to you by the Salvation Army. Down for the challenge happening 8th and 29th during Vikings training camp. Learn more at downforthechallenge.com.
Not to be a downer, guys, but I was just reading a story that by the calculations, the oxygen ran out at 6 a.m. our time this morning.
Jeez.
Yeah, so obviously who knows what that means. But
And Rosie, like we were saying earlier, too, the math didn't work out in their favor today anyway, right? Because not only was that kind of the 96-hour oxygen limit, they said it estimated the time to get to the surface was 8 hours. So for them to be found and get back up, it basically had to be yesterday to have any chance.
Correct.
But now they're just out of oxygen. So and this is the scariest part. I think Zach was the first one that brought this up to us the other day. Even if it was we floated to the surface 3 days ago and you just haven't found us because we've been floating at the top of the Atlantic and you haven't spotted us, there's no way for them to open it.
No, there's no hatch.
So they could have been at the top of the ocean. They could have been at sea level suffocating the last 3 days. So now it's just finding the vehicle and figuring out what happened to them.
Little space capsules that we shot up in this years ago had hatches they could blow open, and they could breathe, and they could just wait for the rescue helicopter to pick them up out of the sea.
And I don't know anything about anything, Rosie, to your point. I'm not getting in anything I can't get out of. Ever.
No.
You can be sure of this. Unless you're
right at the state fair.
Right.
I am not doing it. Yeah, right. Not doing it.
I'm telling you, man, it's going to be Elon or Bezos or somebody. They're going to do this better. That's what those guys do. When they have $100 billion, they say, watch me succeed. I'll do what this guy couldn't do.
But here's the thing,
That's what
Corey.
they do.
I understand that, but here's the thing. Do you remember the immediate response that I think all of us, I know I had when I saw this story when it first broke? They're doing trips down to see the Titanic?
Right.
I had no idea it was even happening.
Correct.
Because it wasn't even anything that I would think people would care to do.
I know. I've said that over and over again. But we have a fascination.
Yeah, for sure.
Morbid
Don't you think
curiosity.
it's this, though, too? It's not just the Titanic, though, right? When you're at the bottom of the ocean, that's where the Titanic happens to be. So if you're just going to go down to the ocean floor, all the way down, you might as well see the Titanic.
But you can't see anything down there.
When the Challenger exploded, though, we didn't stop space travel. Right? You keep going.
No.
So somebody's going to say, we're going to do it better.
Yeah.
We're going to do it right.
They will.
All the corners that this company sounds like they cut, or all the safety measures that it sounds like they kind of had in place, but maybe hadn't finalized or had it verified that is this really going to work? Somebody's going to come in that's a multi-billionaire and say, forget space tourism. Let's do underwater tourism and do this right.
Well, how much food do they have with them? You're not thinking you're going to be
probably
down
just
that
like
long.
Enough snacks, like you go on a hike.
I mean, it's not like
because it was an 8 hour tour. No, how many?
It's supposed to be 8 hours.
A 3-hour
It's supposed to
tour,
be a
yeah.
3-hour tour, yep.
And as we've talked about before, there's only one part of it where one of them can stretch their legs out.
So wait a minute. So go back.
Yeah.
So they're going to go to the bottom of the sea to the Titanic. And it was supposed to be an 8-hour trip.
I believe it took 2 or 3 hours. I think they said to get down, and then you had some time down there, and then it was.
Not
hell of a
much.
But why is it 8 hours to get back now?
Don't know.
Why they say they have 9.5 hours of oxygen, but it takes over 8 hours to bring them back up.
Well, you have to go so slowly. I think.
I know,
that's
but don't they have to do that anyway?
But I wonder if it's
I don't know.
if it's based on how, like you said, they lost power right the other day. Maybe they think. I have no idea why they think it takes 8 hours.
Yeah,
now.
the math is not adding up to me.
There's gotta be
because of on a regular excursion, if it's an 8-hour round trip,
right?
Then why does it take 8 hours on a
question.
rescue mission
Don't
to
know.
bring
That's a
them
great
back
question.
up to sea?
Don't know.
Very good.
Right,
Good
you think it
question.
should be 2 or 3 hours, right? If it's the same pace going back up as it
Correct.
normally would
Yeah.
be. Don't know. That's a good question.
Well, I was going to say, isn't the obvious answer James Cameron that's going to do this? Because he went down in this thing before.
Right.
So he's seen it, done it, probably knows, like, okay, if I'm going to zhuzh this thing up, not from a safety standpoint, but from a comfort standpoint, and give the viewers more ability to see and all that stuff, and like really like do this luxury, don't you think he's the guy that's probably going to do it more than anybody else?
Corey says
He has
the
a
challenge
huge fascination with the water.
challenge is out there now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people will accept it and go on.
Well, look at the prices they're charging for this space tourism garbage, right? And you're not going to the moon. You're just kind of clipping the outer atmosphere and saying, I'm in space.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah,
And then
it's
you- and
even
then you come
debatable
back
whether
down.
you're actually in
That's
space.
my point, but you're paying like $1 million to Bezos. You come back down, you tell all your buddies, I went to space. I'm an astronaut.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to happen here is somebody's going to charge $1 bazillion and it's going to be the lap of luxury, and you're going to have 1,000 different safety precautions. You get to peek at the Titanic and say, I did what billionaire guy couldn't do, and now they're dead, and I'm so cool.
They're probably already
whatever.
thinking about it.
Yep, go for it.
Yeah.
Good luck, Elon. You guys want to do headlines?
Sure.
Love it.
Oh, learn
Yeah,
something?
man.
It's real low, don't worry.
Okay, cool. Boom.
Now it's time for headlines.
Man, what a weird combo. Almost every day we say, hey, it's National Such and Such Day, right? Because every day is some random, generic, lame kind of fake holiday. Today's combo is unfortunate, to say the least.
Oh boy.
Because today is National Kissing Day
Okay, cool.
Tie down.
and National Onion Ring Day.
Hey, Ben.
That's a terrible combo.
Wow.
Right?
But how good? And that's
are
what I got lost in Ben's
National
eyes.
Kissing Day and National Onion Ring Day.
Oh.
Can we celebrate those on different days? Ick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Best onion rings, Gordy's hi-hat in
Steve's
Cloquet.
top hat.
No, it's Gordy's.
Button bar.
Going to Cloquet this weekend. Going up north. Getting out of town. Can't wait to get out of town this weekend.
10,000 legs to jump.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Once you get over those Anoka County
that's
lines,
I'm
your
going.
troubles are behind you.
I'm leaving the Swifties right behind me. Bye-bye.
I pretty much only like onion rings when it's 98% onion ring batter and about 2% onion. So much batter that you can't,
Right,
you
right.
can't taste
just
the onions.
fried bread.
Yeah,
Pretty much
you
just fried
love the
bread.
batter.
But the opposite, so the ones at Norman Quacks in Forest Lake, everybody raves about, but it looks like it's about 85% onion.
Onion.
and-
Perfection.
oh, I can't do that. I don't
Oh,
want the onion, I
perfection.
want the batter.
Oh,
You love the baby batter, don't you?
Love it.
yeah. Oh,
Best
onion
onion
rings
rings,
are
go.
so good.
They are.
Man,
Put ketchup on them?
that's a good. Sometimes they're good either way.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I don't normally order them.
Would you guys
I don't
prefer-
either.
Yeah.
But once in a while.
Yeah,
oh,
they're
I'll
great.
direct this to you there, Sauce.
Oh no,
Cheese curds or onion rings?
onion rings.
Ooh.
Onion rings.
cheese
Cheese
curds.
curds are
That quickly.
overrated. Yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
I'm with you.
They're good, but like
They're
they're
good.
overrated. Yeah, onion rings are incredible, man.
Yeah.
Good, like Corey's saying, when they're 80 to 90% big onion. Oh boy,
Ugh.
yum.
Yuck.
Okay, well,
So gross. 35% of people could see themselves giving up owning a vehicle by 2030.
Not a chance.
I don't buy that
Not
either.
a chance. I know, and I know that's where it's going though. There's so many kids that right now they don't even care to get a driver's
No,
license.
they don't. You're so right.
those damn kids.
I
Those
couldn't
damn
wait
kids.
16, get its
My
first
daughter
aid.
turns 18 in like 2 months.
No interest?
Still does not have her license.
What a bomb.
Yeah, because she doesn't want anything.
Just no rush. She has
No
a
rush.
permit. She drives
Great
once in a while
point,
with
Hawk.
us,
Yeah.
but no rush to have her own vehicle. So
Do her friends drive a lot?
no,
I mean,
most of her friends are in the same boat. She's had a couple of friends that have a license,
Yeah.
but most of them don't.
Isn't that interesting?
So on one hand, I'm like, man, I'm tired of picking you up and doing this
Right.
and doing that. But on the other hand, I'm like, man, that's almost
okay.
2 years of not having to pay
Auto insurance when you're an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or get her
That's
some,
sticker shock.
Or just worry about the safety.
100%.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
So I keep telling her, I go, I don't understand what you're doing, but take your sweet ass time. What do I care?
It's changed a lot. Kids couldn't wait. We couldn't wait to get our driver's license.
To me, and this is probably our generation. To me, it's like having a bike. That freedom to just jump in your car and go wherever you want, whenever you want. It is the best feeling. Like, there's so much opportunity. You're young 20s, and you and your buddies just want to get in the car, full tank of gas, grab some snacks, and just go someplace. You can go. And the fact that these kids, there's a lot of kids, I think it is trending this way. They just don't have the desire to have that autonomy to have a car. They're like, oh, we'll Uber, Lyft,
right. Which is okay, but they can afford it.
And then eventually, 2 generations from now, they're not even going to be driving. They're just going to be little pods that drive themselves around.
Well, it's like Wall-E.
Great movie. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, since I saw a Pixar movie yesterday, I think Pixar's kind of in Marvel territory right now where they got to get their feet set and figure out where they're going. Elemental was very, very solid. They just have lost their momentum, though. It's a good one-time watch.
Oh, really?
Yep. At the end, they do what Pixar always does. There's about a 5-minute stretch right at the end where it's hard not to get emotional because they go for the tear card at the end of this one.
So Hawk
will heave cry. I went with my wife and youngest, and they both had tears.
Oh, and you just
I'm a robot.
Yeah, you stonewalled it.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you did the popcorn trick to yourself.
Let me find this movie.
That's an interesting idea.
We're our conduit for these movies, so I have no idea.
Yeah, it's a good one-time watch.
Yeah, my dad wished he wore one.
The other thing that I think is fascinating is it is absolutely not a theater movie. No reason to see it in the theater.
Okay.
But check this out. I saw this earlier because I was curious on what the Elemental feedback was. If you go back to Incredibles 2 in 2018, Elastigirl.
Yeah, we'll tell them.
$1.2 billion that one made, right? Fantastic. Then Toy Story 4, the year after that, just slightly over $1 billion. Sure, COVID happened in 2020, but check out the list of Pixar films since COVID hit. Onward, with a $200 million budget, made 141.
Was that the one with Chris Pratt?
That was pretty good, actually. Soul, which was solid, that went straight to streaming because of COVID.
Right.
$150 million budget, made 120. Luca, which also was very good.
It lives on the second floor.
Yeah.
Solid film.
Great point.
That movie, the budget isn't listed here, but it made $49 million.
Ugh.
Turning Red, which is like 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, I thought it was solid. $175 million, $20 million in the box office. Again, that also went straight to streaming. Buzz Lightyear, Lightyear in 2022, $200 million budget. It made $226. Elemental has a $200 million budget so far. $55 million. They are running ice cold.
Oof.
Ice cold.
That's bad.
Yeah.
It's like Marvel.
Has not had a monster film since Toy Story 4 years ago.
Okay, so let me ask you that. What's it missing? Just the charm, like the comedy, like.
I don't know, because it's a very solid movie. I think Mr. Z nailed it a week or so ago. It's not groundbreaking. It's nothing you haven't seen. It's cute.
Right.
Kids love it. Good story, good message. It's going to tug at the heartstrings, but if you don't miss it, if you don't see it, you're not missing much.
Yeah.
Right. It's not going to be a cultural phenomenon where you're not going to get elemental references 10 years from now. You're fine.
But it ends up being word of mouth as well, too.
It's fine.
Especially social media. If kids are not talking about it, then parents are going to go, we can pass on it.
Toy Story 4 had a 97% review on Rotten Tomatoes. Right. Onward, 88. Soul, 95. Luca, 91. Turning Red, 95. But then the last two, Lightyear, 74. Elemental, 75.
Wow.
I think you guys know this because we've joked about this a lot. Do you guys know the lowest rated Pixar film of all
movie?
time?
The dinosaur one, right?
No.
No, it's Cars 2.
Cars 2.
Oh.
Cars 2 is terrible, 40%.
Hawk loves that film.
I love it.
He does not.
Yes, he does.
Cars 1 is 74%.
Cars 1
that was
okay.
really good. It was
Cars 2
fun.
is 40%.
Hawk cried.
You can cry.
I cried walking into this. I cried.
You guys, I'm going to cry because I got to go. I got to go, you guys. Love you. See you Monday.
Good weekend.
Have a great weekend. Bye.
Yeah. Bye, Benjamin.
There he goes.
Kevin Costner's wife wants $250,000 a month in child support. Must be nice being married to somebody crazy rich where that's a number that you can even ask for.
Yeah. Child support?
Child support. They have 3 kids, 13, 14, and 16.
Whoa.
$250,000 a month.
I thought you wanted the ranch.
She claims that Kevin's 2022 income was just under $20 million. Okay.
Yeah.
So the family's net income after all expenses and taxes were paid were about $7.6 million.
Well, isn't the hot rumor, and it may not be a rumor, it may have been not true, but didn't he allegedly sleep with somebody that was working on Yellowstone?
I have no idea.
Don't know.
He's been through a few of these.
It's over, right?
Dramatic...
That show's done.
Yeah.
He's walking away from that show, I thought.
I believe he's doing this last season, isn't he?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
right?
it was only a half season and then it stopped. I hate watching it, so I want it to come back.
I like it very much.
Well, you like doing cowboy stuff.
I like reverse cowboy stuff.
Oh, your mic's on.
Well, it's the opposite of being a cowboy, isn't it?
Well played.
So the Weekend's new show,
finally here.
The Idol, right, got canceled.
Yeah,
Not coming back for a second season.
New show is called
It's terrible.
Days of the Week.
Brilliant.
So last week, when that story came out that it was not going to be renewed for a second season, that it was one and done, and that HBO was already canceling it, the Oreos Twitter account tweeted out, quote, "Finally, some good news."
Oh my God.
And now The Weeknd is pissed at Oreos.
Yeah.
Which, again, I've said this so many times, but I love that it's just some random intern that's probably getting paid minimum wage makes that tweet. And now The Weeknd is going to war with a cookie.
With a cookie.
I've done that.
Oh, yeah. Talk about it, brother.
He wins every time. Yeah. Is that Johnny Depp's daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that's naked half the time.
Yeah.
Didn't he basically say, "I'm not going to fight you because you're delicious, so I'll just dip you in champagne"?
Yeah, he backed off after he basically was like, "Screw you, Oreos." By the end of the weekend, I think he had basically calmed down. But you're a cookie trolling The Weeknd.
Yeah. And you watched an episode of that.
I watched 10 minutes of it.
I watched 15 minutes of it.
She was naked the whole time, and I still said, "This is the worst show I've ever seen."
It's awful. It's so bad.
Terrible writing, terrible acting. It was just brutal.
Bring back Entourage. I don't know.
Yeah, which they might.
What? Really?
Yeah, Entourage might come back. Well, I mean, this is going to... What I'm about to say is going to sound very mean, but don't take it the wrong way.
Aww.
They could probably all use the work. I mean, they're all available. That's the thing.
Are any of them doing anything?
Too. Well, didn't the actor get in a little bit of trouble?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ari Gold. Whatever his name is.
Jeremy Piven.
And then the guy who plays E, they tried to make 4 sitcoms on CBS. Those all failed. Kevin Dillon.
Turtle.
He's in buddy games with our guy Swartzen and Josh Duhamel. But yeah.
Two's coming out soon.
Yeah. I think it's available.
What about Manuel?
Emmanuel.
What's her name? Turkey? What's her name?
Jerky.
Turkey. Daniel.
Emmanuel Sharik.
Januel Turkey?
I think he said January Turkey.
I didn't say that.
Rosie, are you
what's her name's girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerky.
Yeah, Sloan. Emmanuel Sharik.
I actually ran into her at a shopping area in L.A.
Oh, Ridgedale?
No.
Were you
That's
getting
in LA.
Yeah, were you? Did you say he was 25 cents?
Yeah, were you jerking it in January?
Wow, Rose.
You guys are weird.
Yeah, you're weird.
Yeah,
He's weird. Why are you weird like that, guys?
Be nice to Rosa.
Please be nice to Rosa.
You know who I am.
So what did you say? Did you say anything?
Got to do it.
All right.
That seems out of context. I bet that was weird for me.
Too easy.
It's my bit. I don't think you guys are going to watch this because it's animated, but today the series premiere of Skull Island on Netflix.
Oh, no.
With Kahn?
An animated series about a bunch of people shipwrecked on an island with all sorts of enormous creatures, including King Kong.
Oh, we're watching that.
Yeah, man, I'd like that.
Yeah, Hawk, it's on Netflix.
Done and done.
Animated.
I got a lot of things watching on Netflix right now. I like that Tour de France show. It's real good.
Is it?
I like it. Yeah, those guys are nuts, man.
Well, they are nuts.
And they crash really, really hard on bicycles.
Yeah.
Break their faces. It's weird, man.
Brandon Molesky thinks he could be in the Tour de France just by riding a bike for a couple of weeks.
Maybe he could.
He's high on drugs.
Maybe, well, that's true, but still, it's got nothing to do with his bicycling
Good point.
prowess.
Wait, he thinks
it's
he
one
could
of those
do the Tour de
You know
France?
what? It's just one of those discussions we had. Who said? Didn't Hawk say he could be on the Pro Bowling Tour?
Yeah,
That's a little.
He gave him a year.
That would be
a year.
easier.
Give me a year. But yeah, no,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
No, you have no shot.
Oh, you're right.
No. Yeah.
So wait a minute. Did Tenebee say that he could compete in
Basically,
or just complete
the bike
course?
Yeah, I can't remember. It's just the idea was like the bike does the work. You know what I mean? Like the bike. I'm going. Have you ever watched the Tour de France?
How many miles a day do they bike on average?
6,000.
They're always talking kilometers.
We're not going up a hill. We're going up a mountain for days. Man,
and this one stage, I think stage 3, was on cobblestones. The road was cobblestones.
It's 1,115, or excuse me, 2,115 miles.
Well, hearing our guy Dan Buettner yesterday talking about riding his bike and just the way they had to, I couldn't imagine how he had to repair it. And just, how was his butt?
Wait a minute, so say that again. 21 bars. How is 2,100 miles?
Oh, this is butt.
2,115 miles.
2,100 miles. How many days is the Tour de France? Is it 2 weeks?
At least.
It's 20 days. 20.
Yeah, I thought it was 3 weeks.
20-day long stages. 20.
So on average, about 100 miles a day.
Zero chance.
Let's see Brandon do it one day. Just ride a bike 100 miles.
Ride a bike to Duluth. See how that works out. Yeah,
that's a good question too. Let's see how far. Duluth's got to be
you should
what?
try it on a Peloton, or
Yeah.
Got to do it,
man.
Got to do it.
No, because there's no hill.
Oh, think of how long you have to bike on a Peloton to bike 5 miles.
Right.
Right.
You know, it's taking you 7 years.
Yeah. I walk by it every day.
The odometer's on 2.
How
was his butt?
Oh, Rosie. Great question, Rosie.
How is his butt?
We asked him that question yesterday.
No, we didn't.
You did.
You asked Tenna how his butt was?
No, not Tenna. Dan Buettner.
Yeah.
Did you ask him about chafing or something?
Corey did.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a legitimate question. His butt.
Rosie. Great question.
You're going to get in trouble, Hawk, with that liner.
You're right.
It says from here to Duluth is about 150.
Okay.
Well, bike halfway there.
Yeah, bike a little more than halfway there.
Brilliant, Zach. I get it.
Man, I don't think I could get home, and I live about 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
I know somebody who biked to Duluth a couple times.
Oh, no. Who?
Oh, no, I'm just saying.
I thought it was a joke as well. Felt like a setup to a jope.
Yeah, I was like,
who ride their bikes year round, even in the wintertime. They ride their bikes to work. They used to, at WCCO, they rode them all the time. They're crazy, man, but they do it. Yeah. People, that's how they get around.
It's fun, man. It's good.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys want to hear some great news? Yeah. Ladies that listen to the Power Trip Morning Show, check this out. This is fantastic. According to the World Economic Forum, the gender gap is going to finally close.
When?
Within the next 131 years.
Oh, jeez. Nice.
Well, that seems like a long time.
Yeah, it's very long.
I'll be dead.
You will?
There you go, ladies. 131 years away from equality. From financial equality.
What's right around the corner?
Financial?
Yeah, they're just saying basically that women make 70% of what men make.
Right.
And that the way that it's improving, we're on pace globally to have equal pay.
Globally?
Within about 100.
What about the United States?
131 years.
Probably not much better.
Well, right now they say the U.S. is in 43rd place in terms of countries and gender equality when it comes to payments. We're in 43rd.
More money, more problems.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Dead last is Afghanistan, 146. Yeah. Women make 41% of men in Afghanistan.
Is that high?
I also saw that number.
I
said,
thought it'd be like 20%.
I thought it'd be like 1%.
Yeah.
Same.
But apparently 41% for the Afghan gals. I don't know. All right, anyway.
Is that all you got? Because I got plenty.
Go for it.
Okay, good. Let me get her started over here if you don't mind. First of all, construction for a new perimeter fence around U.S. Bank Stadium is expected to begin this summer.
Wait a minute, a new perimeter fence? Why do we need a perimeter fence?
Well, I think access, honestly. I think it's just people have easier access to the stadium. They're trying to prevent that from happening. That's all. I mean, it's all precautionary stuff. But I'm building a fortress, but it's...
I think the NFL has requirements.
And the NFL does too.
And they have to put that temporary fence up on the Saturday of every game day weekend.
Yeah, it's something the NFL kind of is asking about, I think. As well.
Let's find out. The Minnesota Sports Facilities Authority Board approved a gross price of $13 million for the fence, which is phase 1 of the stadium's secure perimeter project. In the first phase of the project, a permanent secure perimeter will be established on the southeast and north sides of the stadium. The new fencing will increase public safety, according to the Smets project. It focuses on the security issue while not losing the great iconic design and the beauty of US Bank Stadium, says our friend Lester Bagley. The planned construction date for the project is June 30th.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you go. It's about.
So we're not worried about the birds anymore. We're just worried about
making sure people can't.
Yeah.
Right. So there you go. Safety, baby. Safety. Let me see. I just got a new update on the Titanic sub search. Let's see if it says anything. U.S. Coast Guard holding out hope for the 5 people. They've run out of oxygen. No reason to give up is what the Coast Guard says. So far, the search effort has yielded negative results.
By the way, think about that. I wonder if everybody with a brain that deals with the science of this situation says there's no more air left. Like they can't be alive anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
When are they going to just actually say the words, there's no hope, it's over?
Right.
Yeah.
Because like Chris just said, somebody just said they're still holding out hope?
Yeah, right.
When is somebody going to say there's no more hope, it's over?
Right. They're in a sealed container.
Right. There is no way at this point that there's any oxygen left. It doesn't matter where they are, it's over. It's got to be within the next couple of hours, right? Where they've
had those conversations, I'm sure. It's just a matter of how they're going to present it to the public.
Right.
Yeah.
Well said, Rose.
It does. It makes your stomach drop, no doubt. Being in there with your little boy like that.
Oh, God.
Christ,
awful.
New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers says his positive experiences with psychedelic substances have helped him become a better person.
Yeah.
Rodgers spoke out yesterday as part of the Psychedelic Sciences Convention taking place in Denver this week. The NFL star says he feels compelled to keep talking about psychedelics, saying they've helped him overcome self-doubt brought on by his need to excel. Voters in Colorado decided last November to decriminalize the possession of the substances like psychedelic mushrooms and create healing centers that can administer them in a supervised setting. I love that idea.
Well, it's compared to our drug culture that we have, our legal drug culture that we're all exposed to and bombarded with. I mean, I'm not a big Aaron Rodgers fan for other reasons, but if he has a point about some of these things that help him mentally, I think that should be worthy of looking into. Yeah, because we're all numb by the rest of the legalized drugs that we get presented to by our medical staff. Here, take this.
Well,
take that.
Right, yeah.
Take this, and this.
There are painkillers that put you on another world, man.
Yeah.
What's the difference between that and a mushroom?
Correct.
Yeah. I don't know. If it helps, it helps.
Yeah.
John Oliver did a last week tonight segment entirely on that, and he was very clear. It's like these aren't for everybody. They can be dangerous, but if administrated correctly, they can be a major help to people with all sorts of issues. And it's just the fear in this country to accept something that you're not familiar with just because you don't do it. Correct. Very frustrating.
Well said.
Speaking of John Oliver, Zach, the writer's strike has just really put a crimp in my Sunday night watching.
Yep.
I mean, it's really, I know, I wish these guys, men and women, nothing but the best. The last one, I think, lasted over 100 days. And I think we're at the 50-day point right now.
But there's no end in sight.
Yeah.
That's it's incredible. Nasty. And it's just, in the meantime, a lot of people, out of work and they're not getting paychecks. And I don't know. I miss those shows, though.
I'm sorry, Saucy. Now, every time you say the word incredible, I can't help but laugh.
Yep.
Because I try to think about whether or not what you said is truly incredible. And the fact that gentlemen are on strike and ladies are on strike, that's not incredible.
No. It's incredible for how long it's gone on, is what I meant. That's what I said.
Right. But it's not really incredible.
Sometimes I wish you two were in that sub.
Oh, I'd eat a sub right now.
See, that would be incredible. How did we afford this? What? Did you hear Chris and Cory died at the bottom of the ocean? It was incredible.
I went to bed in Maple Grove.
The whole world tried to save him
you were
for
just in the
5
Cannes
days.
Festival.
That was an incredible story. They tried to catch him off the bottom of the ocean.
That is incredible.
But instead, it's...
I have the audio.
If you ever had onion rings from such and such, they're incredible.
Good.
Point right now, but
there's no end in sight.
Yeah,
it's
incredible.
Nasty.
Yeah,
and
good point.
Just,
I was half listening, I'll be honest with you. But I meant, like, how long, like, I can't believe it's gone on this long, the writer's strike.
What is it?
It's not incredible.
It did
it's
last time.
Sad. All right. Thanks, HollywoodReporter.com.
They knew that going in.
Gosh, it's time
It'd
for
be
the
a
end of the show.
long
Holy
battle.
moly, that went by quickly.
I'll tell you what is incredible.
What is that?
None of us got fired yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
You did get a text.
I did finally
Did you
get a text.
really?
Yep. I got a text. How did
his
I get the
envelope of
text? How
money
is it not
line.
you?
They didn't text me.
His envelope of money line got him.
That was the text that I got to. All right, enough.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I got a text from everybody saying, keep going.
I thought it was funny.
I don't
Why
know.
not? Who cares? I think we'll be back tomorrow, and I think we'll play initials, and I think $40,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Actually, $40,500.
That's incredible.
That is incredible.
Yeah,
It's a
well
lot of
said,
money.
Rose.
9 to noon is next. Rosie, we'll see you next week. Have a good weekend.
Hi, Roser.